It's approaching a station.
Oh right, we were in space. Did we actually do the fight or pick up after the fight last time?
Yeah,
Yeah, we started with the fight. We started with the fight in space over the space station that held the super weapon that had already been used on the planet. We secured it and then used it again on the planet because we hate nature. And also used it to stop Beggar 1. And success! It actually disabled his forces, causing him to scatter and allowing us to resecure Evergreen. We went to the moon, picked up a backup of patience, and returned with a giant space bug because we could. Don't ask questions. Once we returned home, the alliance between the Egregorians and Evergreen is more or less secured, and everyone started working together to get homes, electricity, heating, and food going. And Showbiz went out and scouted and discovered that there are, in fact, 3 forces of subalterns still wandering the continent. But they're a little rudderless. And that's just about where we left off. It's winter now. We're in a preparation slash digging in sort of phase where we're going to try to handle different problems around the colony or tackle things that we want to deal with. And hopefully, come spring, it looks like we might end up in engagements again. So that's my recap.
Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, the come spring engagements, there are in winter small attacks, probing attacks by some subaltern swarms. So the militia combined with the army of the former High Foreman Microfield combined deal with them. It's your choice if you want to get involved into defending or
Of course.
do other stuff during winter. So yeah, winter still has some months. What what's your downtime action?
Well,
Zero?
last time we did a fair bit of building, but we still have more stuff to build too, don't we?
Yeah, you build houses for a lot of people, but not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still crowded. You could build more houses or more specialized structures if you want.
Right, we could try building some larger barracks just to try to get the overflow indoors and not leave anyone out in the cold. So you know what? How about I go ahead and try to handle organizing all that? I did that last time, so I'm basically just finishing the job here, I think.
Yes.
Right. So I'm going to try to get a hold of all the things we need to make this work. So, let's give it a go. Let's make sure everyone is well housed. Hey, looking good. 24.
Yeah. I mean, well housed is probably up to definition. At least they got a roof over their head and some walls, but in this
Mhm.
big barracks, the mood gets sometimes a little bit heated because people are so crowded on each other and can't really evade each other. And because it's fucking cold outside, they can't really go outside for most of the time. So. But yeah, they won't freeze to death.
Yay, improvement.
Cobra, you want to do the next downtime action?
Well, how's the electricity coming along?
Yes, as far as I remember, the electricity is done.
All right, would Cobra be able to help Zero with the housing efforts? Maybe get that going along faster.
I mean, maybe we should split up a little bit on tasks. Is there something else maybe you could build?
I can also give you the available options if you want to do something else than building.
Yeah, build stuff, explore things, defend settlements from the current incursions, train people up, or settle in and do a job and have fun.
How about defending the settlement from those leftover subalterns?
Yes.
All right, so you're going on the defense.
Aye.
Yeah. Yeah. You battle with some people from the militia through most of the winter and manage to keep home itself safe. You can name now one NPC who you formed a relationship with over all the engagements. Please name him yourself. But the constant battle pressure also makes you fatigued.
Okay.
You can think of a name later and write it to me.
Okay.
Theta, what do you want to do?
Who's Theta?
Sorry, showbiz.
Scouting.
Gosh, breaking kayfabe. Ah.
More scouting?
Yep.
What do you scout for?
Everything. If I knew it was out there, I wouldn't have to scout.
Well, we are looking for maybe old technology, maybe old settlements, places that we can repopulate, maybe old factories. All these subalterns had to come from somewhere too. We could try seeing if maybe there's anything on this continent that they're not actively guarding or using. You could keep track of the three distinct groups of subalterns that are wandering around and more particularly know of their activities or goals or objectives, if they have any. I'm sure there's like a number of things you could try to specify.
Yeah, I posted an example list. But yeah, for the scout first, so you could also scout for unknown threats, but like Griffin said, you could.
Here's the thing, though, is as I said, I'm not looking for anything in particular. I'm just scouting. Scouting in this terminology just means I am out there looking for things, not searching for things.
And do you do this by foot or
Plane.
with your plane?
It's always the plane. Why would it be on foot? You can search 30 square kilometers in a day, or, giving you the option, 20 feet.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're low on the ground, you might find stuff you don't.
Sure,
see from
more
above.
than likely to find $1 on the ground on foot than you are on a plane. I hear you. Also, more likely to miss a army coming over the hill on foot than you are on a plane. So who knows?
That's true. And give me just another second. So yeah, then you scouted out the area and gain a general knowledge of the landscape, and you might call upon it as a flashback in a high pressure situation.
Sure. I mean, that's a funny thing. It's just funny to me is that that's the description, seeing as I've scouted every time for months on end now.
Yeah, but it's in the book now. And there's just no particular new threat you might recognize. And
Right, no, I just mean
Yeah.
that by now I'm thinking I'm fairly familiar with the landscape. Except for
Yeah.
maybe 2 changes that have happened recently.
So,
It's getting a lot darker earlier.
then you get slightly more familiar, but yeah. And you keep track of the marches. But they aren't coming close anytime soon. Yeah. Okay. Then we've got your winter activities covered.
Hmm.
And like I mentioned last time, food was a bit of a problem. So not everybody gets enough food, and nobody really needs to die of starvation. But if you don't get enough food, your immune system is weakened. So some people die of infections, and yeah, but you get the vast majority through the winter. And
That's fine, we can
then
just
there are-
reprint those people. Everyone gets a free one, so...
Hey, the rules say that when a character dies, they can just like come back again. It's
Yeah,
fine.
they get one
They got a
free.
second life.
One free reprinting.
Yeah. You mean the special rare Lancer class of characters?
Sure.
They get a free reprinting. That really doesn't cover everybody.
Yeah, but these are government slaves. Clearly the government doesn't want them to die, otherwise they wouldn't have sent us here in the first place.
Yeah, they don't
Also-
want everybody to die.
I just want to point out here, this isn't anything against you, Teal, because I know you're working with a setting that's already written. The printer can print meat. Why are people starving?
Because we're printing houses.
Right, but if people are starving to death, maybe they need meat more than houses. Maybe people can, sleep on top of one another for a while, and...
Well, I guess it's more that we have like multiple problems, and between us three, we've delegated out what to do. And you went to explore, and Cobra went to go defend.
Right, no, it doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying. I'm saying that one of these conditions is killing people, the others are not. Maybe...
Yeah, the printer has limited capacity what it can print in 24 hours, and basically you got a printer of a settlement that had like 15,000 people when you started or so, and if you include the rogue settlers, then it was maybe like 30,000 people or 40,000. I had to look the number.
No, I understand. It's a lot of problems and a very like one-way solution. I'm just saying that you just said people died because of a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm saying
Yeah.
that the printer solves that problem.
No, because it can't print enough food for everybody.
Well, we'll just eat the dead people and then reprint those dead people new bodies. Because again, we're like almost, like very on the verge of post-scarcity here, right? It's just the fact that the printer can't print more printers is why we're not at post-scarcity.
Gosh, or like God out of the Book of Job here. It's like, your kids died. I got you 5 new ones. They're fungible commodities.
Yeah, and the fact that you're starving means you just eat the dead kids, and then the new ones will eat the parts of the dead kids too. And I know cannibalism is a sin, but you don't have to face the consequences unless you die. So eat the kids so you don't die and don't have to face the consequences of your sin.
I think we gotta move on from this.
That logic is rock solid.
I know. Also, just throwing out there that the printer can print mini printers.
But it still needs raw material to print.
Well, thank God we've got these giant craters that are filled with materials right for the picking.
But maybe the material must loosely resemble what's coming out.
I don't remember. I remember there was a whole conversation
Anyway,
that we had in the
so-
pilot Discord about what handheld printers can and can't make, and I don't remember exactly what they ruled on. This is a conversation I thought of already a long time ago.
Yeah, maybe. Not maybe. Okay, we fast forward. We established that some people unfortunately died, but hope goes up with spring and the ability to now really plant plants above ground and do farming and stuff. Establish farms, more farms. The people of the United Cities, so Michael Fields and Halfom, are really happy to now be able to live above ground. And in early spring, something miraculous happens. Endeavor wakes up. You ask, who is Endeavor? Endeavor is the Gregorian hive mind. And all the Gregorians you see seem way more happier, maybe more alive, maybe more vibrant once Endeavor wakes up. Yeah.
Oh, so I guess he just came out of hibernation?
Oh, once Highfoam got shocked, he entered a catatonic state.
Ah, okay, so he's been recovering. I understand now.
Yes. And because Endeavor is such a big thing, they kinda didn't never mentioned it too obviously because yeah, it's really important for the Gregorians and you never really inquired how this works. But with Endeavor now back awake, back in back awake, they are how do you call it? Their form of telepathy, witness sharing, works even better. And sometimes even you now can hear something of the overarching witness sharing.
Ooh, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So we've got OmniNet, we've got TelepathyNet, and yeah, this is pretty good. Let's see. So I need to go back over the scouting reports here while we just continue.
Yeah.
There's 3 swarms, and I think one was trying to get across the strait. Has March Delta actually got into Laguna? Or is it still basically on its way there?
Oh, it's still on its way down.
Okay.
I mean,
Is Laguna currently inhabited at all?
likely not,
Okay.
because you remember the history lesson that
Yeah,
some
yeah.
40, 50 years back, the machine attacked Laguna and killed all the people, or most of the people. And
Right. I'm just trying to determine like possible objectives we need to work on. I'm just thinking to myself. You can go ahead and continue with anything you want to push us on.
Yes, you get a chance for more downtime actions.
Woo!
So basically, the more or less the same as before. No, exactly the same 5 as before.
Right. Right now, I probably do want to ask the administrations of the Alliance, like what their plan is to deal with the subalterns, what they want to do with them, and what their decided approach is so far. I imagine currently it's leave them alone and see what they do, right?
Uh, Ideoro speaks with you, accompanied by Terror and Hadura.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, thanks to your friends or not friends, comrades show with scouting, we exactly know where they're heading, and 2 out of 3 don't really concern us, but the so-called Alpha Marsh will reach us fall or winter, so we still got some time to build defenses, and we are not sure if we want to do a defensive posture or mount counterattacks.
Right. So we have a whole year to try to figure it out then.
Half a year.
Half a year. Okay. So as it
And-
stands, what does Home's defensive capabilities look like right now? I remember we had a sizable number of Lancers, but what else do we have? What do our odds look like if it decided to just sort of attack today?
It's, you've got about 300 max or so, or 320, something,
Mhm.
and around an army of around 400,000 soldiers.
Okay, so
It's
do 320 max, 400,000 troops. And let's see, Vanguard Alpha's the one heading to Home. That one also numbers in the thousands, right?
the what? The Alpha
Uh,
March? Or-
The marches.
Okay, yeah, you trusted Vanguard, and I was confused.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, it's the. Oh yeah, because there are Vanguard subalterns in there. It's in the thousands. I don't get an exact number here, but
Okay.
I mean it's 50-meter wide and 4 kilometers long. So I guess that's quite some people. Subalterns.
Yeah, quite a few. And collectively, what do we think our odds are if they were just to like attack right now? This would clearly be like a full-on war scenario now.
Uh, you okay? Yeah, I think we got a chance at beating them, but it would be a very costly victory, most likely, because it's quite a lot of forces. So if we can do something about it, that would be really great.
Let's see, fields beyond Evergreen, following the valley floor. I'm just trying to get an idea of where they are and where they're coming from. So I'll think of what I want to try to do to defend here, and I'll let the other two see if they want to do something first.
But you also mentioned Laguna. We would like to send a scouting mission there, or rather, we will. it's your choice if you go with them.
I think we could join the scouting mission. I'd enjoy stretching my legs at the very least.
Yeah, it's your call if you rather help defend the city or scout.
Well, I think Showbiz is already interested in scouting. He could probably join along.
Because, yeah, like the book stated, Laguna is 1,000 kilometers away.
Hmm.
So this map has a little bit more medieval scale. So the direction is mostly right, the distance, not so much.
Mhm.
Because, yeah, I know.
Okay. So I can go ahead and suggest that to Showbiz as to join the scouting mission. I assume this wouldn't be like we go out in the field and there's probably a fight mission. This is still just downtime stuff, right?
Oh, it's, I mean, if the scouts happen to wander into enemies,
Okay. Uh, well, I guess like my question is more like, does that take the place of our downtime to go with them and check out Laguna? Or are we still doing downtime and then going with them?
yeah, you're still doing downtime, but it's your choice if you go to Laguna or not.
Okay, so I'll recommend us to join the mission. And what do you two want to do in downtime until then?
You have done nothing so far?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that. That's why I tried pushing it off on them. They're silent. They're stonewalling me. Help me.
I was just gonna help with the defense again.
I was
seems to
gonna
be useful.
fly a plane and scout some more.
Of course, of course.
I'm sorry, was I given an order?
You can choose what you want, but I'm not sure what you're looking for.
Good call, Chief.
So let's see. Well, they are all marching in column. It is possible we could try to start establishing ambush points and try to weaken them before they hit the city. I guess that would follow in like along either defense or training.
Quick question. Are you certain they're hostile?
Well, they're heading right here, and they've been doing probing attacks.
Since after the destruction of the thing?
Yes. Cobra is vigilant on the defense end.
They're also still flying Beggar One's banners.
I mean, maybe they don't know any better. These are intelligent creatures, after all. They were just under the control of something else. If they lost the control and just operating under last commands, I mean, it's not impossible.
Well, I'm not sure how we could send them commands at all.
I'm not saying
and
commands,
not
I'm
sure
saying
diplomatic
talk to
mission
them.
will turn out well here.
I mean, we could drop them a communications device and, just try and talk.
Well, how about you handle that then?
What, the guy in the plane should drop the communications? Oh, sure, why not?
Well, if you want to try to see what you can learn, that can be part of your scouting then.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I think we have our actions lined up at the very least.
Do we? I don't recall you saying what you were doing.
Yeah, I was asking if setting up ambush points to try to weaken them as they get to Hive Home would be training or defense.
Oh, sorry, didn't catch that.
It's okay.
I mean,
The idea is to
It-
weaken and scatter their forces when they start to approach, and make sure that they don't have an easy time trying to like assault or lay siege to home.
Yeah. Basically, the way I want to handle this is the actual ambushes wouldn't be downtime actions, but instead of going to Laguna, you could start harassing the enemy forces to reduce their numbers. Or you could go to Laguna and hope that you return soon enough so that you still can do some harassing. But if you want to prepare those ambushes and prepare the defense, you could do some training.
Yeah, I guess we could prepare them to be ready to do so for another timer action then.
Yeah.
I like that, Al. Showbiz, you go out and discuss the possibility of peace with the natives. I am going to train all these people to go out there and kill them, though.
Yup.
Good news! I've talked to... Oh, you've killed him. Never mind. I'm gonna go back and get up their peace delegation. Oh, you've killed them with an IED. That's not gonna look good.
Well, they're coming, and I basically want to put them into disarray if I can. So that's what I'm
Then-
gonna do.
Could you please go ahead and give me a scouting, not scouting, training role?
All right. Lead and inspire.
Yes, you can totally inspire people.
17. I did it.
Uh, Then, yeah, you accomplish your task, and the next time there's fighting, the units involved in the training, the fighting won't be as costly for them.
Ooh, very good. All right, I like it. Who's next?
You were last this time.
Was I? I didn't see anyone else roll anything for this downtime.
Yeah, because for the defending you don't have to roll. You get
Oh.
automatic benefits. For scouting you don't have to roll.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm done then. And then I suppose I will give everyone their mission once they're done with their
Oh,
downtime.
guys, I figured
We'll
out
be
how to get
going
off
to
this
Laguna.
planet. One sec.
Yeah, there's a whole space shuttle we could be like refueling and just go, all right, now that no one's watching, let's just get out of here before they notice.
Guys, I figured it out. We can get off the planet.
The shuttle, it's over there.
I found it while I was scouting. There's a shuttle right over here.
During your scouting, how far to the east do you fly?
All the way to the shuttle. I don't know. I don't know how much fuel this plane has. The specifics haven't really been laid out.
It took us across to the other continent before.
Right, but I mean, obviously I would be doing some sort of pattern search, pattern scouting figure, so it would be an ever-expanding circle. And I guess the time frame hasn't also been laid out since we said all winter or something like that. Does that include the nuclear winter from the fallout from the 2 megaton bombs that we dropped from orbit?
Well, they're tungsten rods, so there's no radiation, it's just dust clouds.
Well, I mean, it's still fallout.
Right. It's fallout, not nuclear fallout, but fallout. Yes, that includes the fallout, and that's why winter was colder and spring isn't as warm as it used to be.
What about my attempts to communicate?
So you're... Damn. Why do you try this? I don't know.
Well, first over the Omninet. If I don't get a response, I'm going to drop an Omninet on them via parachute.
Omnihook, yeah.
I'm sorry, did the commanding officer have a suggestion?
No, I was
Yeah.
just correcting you.
Correcting me on what? I didn't hear the correction.
Omnihook would be the device. Omninet would be the service. It's like internet and then modem.
No, I understood. I was just leaving you in silence.
No, stop it.
I mean, my
Stop
character wouldn't call you a nerd to your face, so...
it.
Yeah.
I like to imagine you do this and you just get back like World War II era style propaganda. Buy synth bonds now. Support our robot troop.
Oh, I thought you meant that Chinese woman that was over the
Find
radio.
your victory Robo Garden.
Can't remember her name.
I don't right now.
No, I don't think they react to you.
Not even a chance? Tokyo Rose, that was her name.
They- Right. Okay. So, have I complained yet about the layout of this book?
Maybe just a little bit.
Not today.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, most of these groups are leaderless.
Yeah.
So I almost imagine just like some random mook just like picking this up and going, "Oh hey, what's going on? I've just been marching. Those are my orders."
Okay, I found the correct section. No, they don't negotiate.
I mean, they don't talk at all, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't need a negotiator. I just need communication. I mean, do they just keep walking past the Omni hook? Omni whatever? Do they pick it up and just do nothing with it? They don't answer any calls or hails or...
Well, let me just read the section.
This planet has a saint, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Saint Telos.
Saint Tellus.
Saint Telos. No, they just ignore your Omnihook.
Oh,
Well, I've come up with a secondary plan for you then, Chief.
what? Yeah.
We start putting bombs inside the Omnihook, set them to explode when they're communicated to. They're ignoring the Omnihooks.
You know, this sounds awfully like a bombing run.
Except, that we can put them there, and they literally are ignoring them. They'll scatter if you start bombing them. You can put these in specific places, and they're just going to march on past them, and you can blow them up in the center of their formations.
Sounds like a bombing run with more steps, actually. You know what? Maybe we should just start an air force.
It's like if you were dropping mines, right? That you could control from a distance, instead of just dropping a bomb, which explodes immediately and gives the whole game away.
Oh yeah, cluster mines. That could be fun.
Yeah, I'm just
And
I'm just saying
never
that you could
backfire.
explode their entire formation at once instead of having to drop bombs on them and try and catch the people that are scattering away.
I'm not entirely sure the plan will work. That's my opinion.
Okay, then once plan forming is done, to action forming, what do you wanna do?
What's the
Do you
difference
just-
between plan forming and action forming?
Action forming is you say what you do. Plan forming is you just think about what you could do and what would be a good idea.
But yeah, plan forming is you say what you do, and then action forming is you say what you do.
No, it's what do you do? Do you go with the scouting trip? Do you
I
do
just did.
bombing runs or mines or?
Yes, that will be our plan. I would like to go with the scouting mission.
Oh, you're coming with me this time.
Well, we're going with the Egregorian Rangers to investigate Laguna.
Oh, you mean a different one. Okay.
Correct. So we'll be getting up in Armex and we'll be going with the troops. I feel like this option, if we can investigate Laguna and secure it, then at least we'll have a very nice choke point against future incursions.
Yes, from that navy that we've yet to see.
Well, they can cross the water, and that is the shortest point. In fact, it barely looks like it's even as thick as the river here.
Contention there is that they are subalterns and may not need to breathe air, so they could just march across the longest point too and not care.
Maybe, but it would be a longer walk, and maybe even a more dangerous one. Underwater currents are real.
Yeah, I understand that, but the element of surprise might be more valuable to them than
Actually-
a short walk.
I almost forgot how much we might have been joking about giant water monsters before. I can't remember if those were real. I'm pretty sure they're real.
I mean, there weren't any in the river.
That we saw.
Right, as
I mean-
we traveled down the river. Sorry, up the river.
Like Teal-chan, like crossing under that much water for that long, probably not the greatest option for machinery, right?
Hmm. I mean, it could be shallow enough that they managed to do it. But
Right. So it could remain a possibility, but we'll need to investigate that in the future. I recommend satellites to use gravitational spectrometry to check out the depths of all the oceans on the planet. I think this is a wonderful little bit of investigation and science, but it also has nothing to do with us.
Well, I was also going to point out the probability that since all our maps are fan made and none of them have depth gauges or height gauges, that'd be a lot of work on Teal-chan.
You're ready to do some topography, right? Just draw circles. That's
I mean, it's
easy.
super easy to change the map. Look, I just added a shuttle.
Yes, but you remember the last time the machine or the subalterns attacked, they went underwater, but through the tunnels under the water. So
Mhm.
that seems to be more convenient for them. That's any indication.
Right. So I'll keep it in mind. But the plan to Laguna is a go right now.
Okay.
Quick equipment option. Do I have access to that third slot again for my pilot gear?
Yes.
Yay!
What happened to it before?
I gave it away to Disguise the Gregorian as they went off into space to negotiate.
Like 8 sessions back.
Yeah, 8 sessions back and now like several months ago.
Oh, you mean when I tried to drop a gun to have one kid shoot another kid? Or something like that? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
about that same time.
Ah,
A lot's happened since then.
I think the Egregorian thing was a session later.
the go-getter spirit of Lesser.
Right. But I'm just gonna go ahead and put down extra food for the time being and leave it at that. Or extra rations, I think it's called.
Everyone's dying around me. I'm holding on to these rations.
No, he's kind. He's doing it in the spring.
Look,
I-
I gotta refill my coffee here.
I
okay?
can't wait for the scenario where some starving civilians notice that you've got extra rations on you, and there's a swarm that chases after you.
It worked that one time on the ice planet.
Those people weren't starving. They were just in a huge war, that's all.
Look, I'll bring some extra nuts and bolts in case we find some subalterns.
You know, turn to camera, deadpan. That's our captain.
Laugh track plays.
Everybody freezes. To death. I mean,
So we're on the mission.
Yes, and I was just reading up details. Okay, they sent a force of 1,000 rangers. Because, yeah,
Very sizable recon, I see.
yeah, they expect fighting along the way. Or vice
Right,
versa.
I'm definitely in agreement.
It's and yeah, covering 1,000 kilometers by foot takes some weeks. So it's way easier if you have a plane, but if you have to actually walk, yeah, take some time. They also take some trucks with them, but most people walk.
Right, it's sort of a very long supply convoy here.
Yeah, the trucks, they carry ammunition and supplies. So you don't have to carry them on your back because, yeah, carrying food for a month on your back isn't really a great idea. Gets heavy fast. And here you march along the old high road. And that I don't find a number right now, but I guess it's about 50 kilometers before you actually reach Laguna. A pair of Egregorian scouts come running down the road to you, load and then they report to Dal movement 2 kilometers up ahead. Human and Egregorian. Unknown uniforms, unknown markings. Armed. Hostiles? Presumed hostile, yes. Uncapped lances, free safety. Button up, Rangers. And my people, cover your grounds. Do not witness until I command.
Huh. Do we have a visual on those uniforms?
Those two scouts didn't bring a picture.
Do they look like the old Union uniforms?
They did not bring a picture.
Okay.
It's but if you ask, maybe.
Yes, that was. Okay.
Oh no, right. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So it's very possible that they've gone ahead and moved in then.
Yeah, but you wonder how those people, those two Egregorians, recognize old Union units.
I do sort of like bring out a picture of like Beggar One from like back his announcements, like this.
Yeah, no, they recognize before you showed them a picture.
Oh,
That's the da. Uh,
looking up more stuff.
yeah, it's I try to skip all the fluff to get to the hard numbers again.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you found a small town or garrison south of Laguna, so it's not actually at Laguna. And when you approach closer, you realize that it's maybe 30 kilometers away from Lagunas, and there are regular runners between those two cities, and also some trucks going from one to the other. So they share supply.
All right. So Laguna isn't quite abandoned then, it seems. Especially if it has satellite villages like this.
And yeah, some fluff I skipped along the way. You saw old shut down Union trucks. You also saw the carcass of an old Genghis Mark I with its reactor core missing. And yeah, there was definitely fighting around this area.
So I'll look to the scout leader and I'll ask them.
You
Go ahead.
also see new constructions like wooden towers and sandbag walls. So yeah, they prepare to defend.
Right, they're preparing. So I'll talk to the scout leader some about our objective here. If they're interested in taking Laguna or just scouting in force, if they're interested in taking and holding any position here or just gathering information. We do have a sizable force here. If we outnumber them, we could maybe very well take and hold Laguna.
Oh no, that's not Laguna. That's an outpost south of Laguna, which you outnumber.
Right. Well, I'm speaking about the future here, I guess. But the outpost, yeah, we could definitely just like roll straight on top of it and say, "Hey, we're here," if we
And
wanted to. But that would give up our stealth for now.
yeah,
It depends on our approach and objectives here.
the Tal looks at you and thinks about it. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, this is a patrol mission, but if we find enemy forces, then if we could actually recapture Laguna, that would considerably strengthen our position.
All right. Then, since we found out that there are inhabited outposts here, we should probably try to set up a camp a decent bit away and start probing their defenses somehow. At least trying to investigate where they're defending and with how much, and hopefully without revealing ourselves either.
So you mean scouting instead of probing?
Right.
Okay. Okay, then give me a group challenge roll. So everybody of you rolls to if you manage to stay hidden and clean some information.
All right. Well, I'm still bad at hiding, everyone. So I'll be rolling a d20. Cobra, you're still good at hiding, right? Save us.
All right.
Hey, I did
Robert.
okay today. And that leaves you, Showbiz. How are you gonna hide?
Yes. Okay.
Stays cool.
It's this town. Let's just not spoil its name yet. You scout out their defenses, and if you decide to attack, you get an advantage on the first roll.
Okay.
Uh,
But do we have any idea of the defenses further afield of our primary targets
No,
of
you
Laguna?
no, you now scouted out this outpost, and it's 30 kilometers away. So if you want to go to Laguna, that would be more or less a day trip and entail further risk of being spotted, and also the risk of being in a pincer attack if you're spotted.
Right. So then what we should do is then take our advantage, try to take the outpost, and then work from there so that we have a point to retreat from.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm with the scout leader. We're forming up our plan, and I think we're ready to swoop in.
And yeah, you recognize the uniforms of St. Telos.
Hmm.
Okay. You remember those battle attack pseudo downtime action? Go ahead and
Yes.
describe your attack and roll for me.
All right. Well, we've had plenty of time to set up and surround them with good tactics. On my mark, I go ahead and lead the assault. We go straight after military targets and leave as much civilian things completely untouched. We try to block off the road for retreat and eliminate enemy forces. And capture as much as we can. If we can force a surrender early, that'll be great. So lead and inspire. Shall I roll it?
Yes.
22. Oh, it's blank.
Yeah,